Hello, everyone. Welcome to this exciting and interactive webinar on how to onboard billers on the BBPS platform in just 2 weeks. I am Rinki Manya, Marketing and Communication Head of Tilli Software, and your moderator for this webinar. Before I introduce our speaker, who will shed light on the biller onboarding process, let us first understand what is BBPS and what is its significance. So BBPS or Bharat Bill Payment System is an initiative by RBI. RBI's NPCI, which is National Payment Corporation of India. It offers a one-stop solution for consumers to pay their bills swiftly and securely, whether it is your school fee, your insurance premium, or any kind of utility bills. BBPS simplifies the process by consolidating all the payments on a single platform, and it ensures a seamless experience. On the biller side, it allows their customers to make payments anytime, anywhere digitally, and this convenient system is leading to faster payment collection, faster payment settlement, and a safe and secure transaction experience. And here I really have some interesting data from BBPS official website. And this data is taken from August 2023. So the number of live billers as of August 2023 is as much as 21,211. On 31st of August itself, on this single day, the total transaction volume is as high as 3.39 million, and the transaction value is around 831.12 crores. And the Bharat Bill Payment Central Unit offers you an uptime of 99.97%, and that's really amazing. We will get to know more about all these things in this upcoming session. So I would not delay it any further. And let me welcome our speaker for this webinar, Kiran Kumar, who is the Sales Vice President for Sales and Marketing at Tilli Software. So over to you, Kiran. Welcome.
Hey, hi. You're able to hear me?
Yeah, you're audible, Kiran. Please go ahead.
Hi, Rinki. Thanks a lot for hosting this wonderful webinar. Really appreciate. Thanks a lot for having this wonderful topic. I'm really excited to join this. I hope you're able to hear me properly, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so Kiran, the first question comes from the topic of the webinar itself. When you are saying 2 weeks, does it really means 2 weeks? Are you really going to onboard billers in just 2 weeks of time? And what makes you so confident about this? Because we know that the usual process is around 6 to 8 weeks. So, what is your statement on this?
Yeah, I mean, thanks a lot for our innovation, research and development team, and thanks to the engineers who have more than 20 years of experience in the space of enterprise customers, and they have really brought up something that we have been when we were discussing with BBPS about becoming a TSP with our experience and working with large utilities in US. Then there's something that we wanted to introduce to the market, um, which should which should create the wow factor, right? We can't go in a traditional way of doing this integration and fetching and posting the bills, and that's where our innovation team has brought in this concept of adapter driven framework. And what we have done is we have built adapters for ERPs like SAP, Oracle, financial accounting system like Tally, and Focus kind of. In fact, even for Zoho CRM also, where you find a lot of system of records or the customer data is stored, or a subscriber data is stored, right? So that has helped us to stick to the statement, like, we just do it in 6 to 8 weeks because we understand better than anyone else on this space of customer management and how the records are maintained in an ERP or a homegrown system kind of thing. Yeah. And we stick to it. Yeah. We really do it in 2 weeks of time.
Yeah, so it basically goes to your innovation, your technology innovation. Fine. So I believe that this technology integration works well with all the popular CRM systems, SAP, Oracle, and all. What about those billers who are still on legacy system? who are still working with their homegrown systems or something that is developed in-house. So what are your plans for those kind of businesses?
Well, I mean, that's a fantastic question. I would say. I think definitely. I mean, it's not that everyone uses ERPs, which are quite popular in the industry. But yeah, many billers we have seen, especially in India, they still use either homegrown or custom made applications, or the ones which I did not mention also, right? So the first time or the first approach, integration or analysis approach, will take little time, not like 6 to 8 weeks still, but I would rather add one or two couple of more weeks. So I would say, I mean, the first initial thing which are not listed in the in the list what I have just made it, probably we will take 1 or 2 more weeks. But yeah, we will, the next implementation we will again come back to 2 weeks only. Yeah.
Yeah, so that really makes your technology platform Xtex a really lifesaver for all kind of businesses. That's great, wonderful. Can you give some additional insight about the underlying technology you are deploying, like its scalability, its flexibility of the system, and load and throughput it can take? Can you share some insights or data or anything available with you?
See, India, when you look at India market, look at the volume that it has delivered, right? So any solution or any technology or any platform or any application that you introduce to India market, definitely the adoption rate is exponential. So whenever you see a quick thing coming into the market, it is spreading. So people start downloading and start using it, doing a lot of transactions, right? We kept that thing in mind. We know that there will be a colossal of data is there in the ERPs or in the system, and definitely you can expect high volumes of transactions getting done through a consumer facing apps, and that too, especially when you have apps like phone pay, Paytm, or Amazon Pay or Cred kind of thing, right? So so there are millions of people who are using this, and definitely when they do any kind of bill payment, so there is a load on the system, right? So we have kept that thing in our mind. That's our primary concern when we created this kind of adapter driven framework. So what we did, the bare minimum testing that we started, I mean, a very basic infrastructure related testing that we have done, that the underlying technology should support a minimum of say for example anywhere between 12 to 15,000 of fetching of those data records within less than a minute's time, right? So that kind of testing we have gone through it. And when you deploy certain infrastructure on top of it, like what we have done is we have taken care of ALB, which is application load balancing, and NLB, which is network load balancing kind of things. Now that makes the engine more powerful, the framework more powerful, and you can multiply the numbers within the same time frame, like 1 minute, and it can go up as well. Now on the underlying technology side of it, we have I think the whole credit goes to this our technology team who has developed on the entire framework on a microservices based application architecture. Yeah.
Thanks, thank you,
And
Kiran,
that,
for
that
this.
I know. I mean, many of who have attended, they know how this microservices-based architecture works. I mean, it gives you the best flexibility and scalability to make any type of changes or take any kind of load into the system. Flexibility in terms of introducing more and more new type of business processes or fetching of more data. Scalability in terms of, I mean, you can scale to any number of transactions. Yeah.
Yeah, so talking on these lines, I understand that you are going to deal with a lot of data. So my next question is, what are the security measures you are deploying? Because you are going to deal with this huge data, and data security is a serious concern these days. So how do you ensure that your data is protected?
See, primarily when we are talking to BBPS, and BBPS has laid down a very strong data protection policy, right? And the highest security level they have asked us to adhere, right? And that itself is a qualification criteria the moment, I mean, you can't. It's very difficult for someone to become a technology service provider. There are many checks and balances in place, and you have to go through all those compliances, and you have to demonstrate that skills and technological enhancement. Besides that, remember, Tilli itself is a payment gateway facilitator and a provider, right, in the US and India. So that means we are a PCI DSS level 1 certified organization, and we adhere to world's best practices in terms of storing and exchanging the data. That's one. Second is we're a SOC 2 compliant, and we being a technology and providing this kind of communications product and payment product. We adhere to ISO 27000 on as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that gives us a complete clarity on your security measures. That's wonderful. Now let's
Yeah, I mean, we
talk.
have taken all sorts of consideration, especially now. If you see, India is also moving towards data protection, personal data protection policies, and they are trying to introduce certain compliances around it. So we have kept everything in mind, and besides, we have our internal compliance team, and we adhere to BBPS policies, compliances. So that makes a more secured and you know. Strong system. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Now let's talk about the billers or businesses you are onboarding to the BBPS platform. Like, are you catering to everyone in the industry, or you have some reservations around the billers? You are picking them, a few of them, or catering to all of them. So we have some curiosity around that.
So I mean, we come from utilities background, right? We have been, and that has helped us in terms of demonstrating our capabilities in understanding how these water, gas, electricity companies works, and how they interact with the customers, and how the payment processing happens. So that's being in our genes, we can say. Or we have grown with the data. Okay, we have grown with that industry. So when we opened our office, India office, we were excited to be part of this wonderful journey and contribute to the BBPS side of it. So when we presented our applications that we have done, when we demonstrated our skills and knowledge around utilities, so that's where we got more scoring points, right? Then, being from a payment gateway industry, payment processing industry, so we know how these lending works, and how these collections works, right? So primarily, if you see of these 25 categories which are defined by BBPS, definitely I think a majority of the categories we can do, we have experience in it, no doubt. There is no two way that water, gas, electricity, and the lending, I mean, lending is definitely one of our core strengths that we are ready to do it. Besides that, I mean, you can consider schools, clubs, and membership renewals, fee payments, and we being ourselves as a communication provider on SaaS, so we understand how this SaaS market also works. So any SaaS-based subscriptions or on-demand subscription can also be, yeah, I mean, definitely, that's what we can take it. I mean, all these biller categories which are defined, definitely, I mean, we are excited to onboard all of them. See, we have seen the volume side of it, which is predominantly water, gas, electricity, and credit side of it, right? Rest all, I know there is a volume, no doubt about it, but it is definitely something that we can adopt into it.
And recently we saw that even the Kendriya Vidyalaya, which is a leading educational institution in India, get onboarded to BBPS platform, and now they are
Oh yeah,
simplifying.
that's very encouraging, Rinki. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kendriya Vidyalaya going on BBPS platform. This is very, very encouraging to that segment as well. Thanks a
It's
lot for
paving
bringing
way
it.
for other educational institutions as well to onboard. And I hope Tilli Software will be working closely to educational industry as well for BBPS biller onboarding. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, insurance is another fantastic volume driven segment, Rinki. We cannot ignore that. Definitely, I think more space on that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so like when a biller is onboarded on BBPS and you act as a TSP for them, so what will be your steps after a biller gets onboarded to the platform? Like what extra services, support you will be providing to them to let them continue on the platform in a very seamless way?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just wanted to share my screen. If you allow me some time, probably let me go back to this one. So I hope you're able to see the presentation which I shared.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, great. So this is what I mean. We are. We still. Um, so this is our journey, quick journey. I'll just skip these screens. This is 20 years of history. We are our clients. We are proud to get associated with these clients, and these are all our value partners. And we have grown because of the kind of partnership we are now. So all I just concluded, right? So all 25 categories definitely we have experience on onboarding them. Right now, this is something what we offer as part of the biller onboarding process, Ricky. I hope I'm you're able to see my screen, which talks about the framework that we have, adaptive driven framework, and then the integrations what we have created, especially on the ERP, CRM, or any core banking system. And you could take an example of any banking which is providing lending, or any lending providers, like it could be NBFC, or it could be a any cooperative bank or RRBs. They just go ahead and provide extend their lending, right? Now we have done integration to those things, and then we onboard them quickly within 2 weeks of time, and then onwards we hand it over to our customer success team. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you for this insight, Kiran. Uh, and now it's the time for Q&A. And as you know, we recently ran a campaign inviting queries around this webinar because people have a lot of curiosity around BBPS. It is becoming so big in recent time. So we also received a few questions and we will try to attend a few of them as the time allows to us. So the first question we have is it really good for a biller to get onboarded to BBPS? Like how important is it for them?
Definitely. I mean, see, I'm here to share my experience. There are no two ways that you advance your technology, or some framework and platforms that provides a seamless customer interaction. Right. At the same time, you create those avenues of payments where customer just makes the payment at ease. Right. That's very, very critical. Now, when you are in the consumer intense segment, especially when you are providing services to the consumer side of it, B2C, now this is pretty important that you need to understand. Now the generation is moving towards making payments on the go, right? So we have seen adoption of Paytm, we have seen adoption of PhonePe, we've seen adoption of other consumer facing apps where they used to provide certain facilities in certain metro areas, where you can just simply log in and provide your unique identification number, or your consumer ID, or your lending ID, and you just go ahead and simply it fetches the bill. You just simply click on the pay button, and you make the payment on the go, right? So on a broader sense, what BBPS has done is it has extended the all to almost all 25 categories, and available everything is available on one platform, right? Now, it is something like, for example, someone working at the southern end of India, where their parents could be somewhere around east or north, or west side of India, right? So they have old parents where they can't stand on the queue and make the payments. Now this gentleman or a woman, whoever is working from a other end of the other part of the India, so all that they have to do, simply provide the the consumer ID and make the payment on the go, and it happens in 1 to 2 seconds. I mean, we have witnessed to it, right? That there are many statistics which says that the moment you get even you get a payment reminder, right? So the moment you get, you just simply click on it, say pay, and it happens in a jiffy way. 1 to 2 seconds, it's done.
Right,
Yeah, I
right.
would rather advise that adopt to the BBPS framework, or get onboarded on the BBPS platform and provide the AHA experience to customer, right? That's more important. And look at the kind of efforts or infrastructure that will be offloading from the biller side of it. It's colossal. I mean, it's noteworthy. Yeah.
It's a very practical solution. I also believe it's a very practical solution that people in India were waiting for. Now, people living in any state can make payments for their kids, for their parents. And this kind of simplification really requires the billers to be on BBPS. Totally agreed to your point, Kiran. So now the next question is a little direct to you. So, are you currently working with any billers for this implementation as of now? Any particular industry you would like to talk about?
Yeah, so see, the first movers were in India. The first movers were the utilities, right? Predominantly the metro utilities, right? They moved on quickly onto this BBPS platform, and subsequently there are other segments which are moving. But the one which caught our attention, or our the team is excited to work with, is with the lending industry, right? So we have been closely working with many lending industries, such as the district cooperative banks, the lenders, the NBFCs, or the RRBs, or urban cooperative banks, where we know that the end users are somewhere in the remote villages, right? And they all that they have to do is they have to come back and pay it through some branches or some representative, and make the repayment of EMIs, right? So what we have seen is this is a fantastic opportunity, even for these kind of banks, where if they are onboarded, and look at the internet penetration, look at the smart mobile penetration, look at the UPI penetration in India, right? So everything is available on fingertips on a smartphone. All that you have to do is, once these banks are onboarded, right? When these banks are onboarded, then the consumers, like the guys who have taken loans from these cooperative banks or the local banks, it could be an agriculture loan, it could be a education loan, it could be even what do you call, heavy equipment loans or gold loans kind of thing. So they have to repay, right? Repay on a frequent basis. Now that frequency, what happens is they make the payment with a physical commute, and then they give the cash, or ask them to deduct from their account, and then come back with a receipt, right? Now what we have done is, once we onboard them, so now we are integrating with their lending frameworks, we are integrating with the lending platforms, or it could be a cooperative, what do you call this, core banking systems, right? So when we integrate with those things, all that they have to do, simply it could be from any channel, they can access it. It could be from phone pay, Paytm, or Amazon Pay, or Cred, or even Money, which is our own consumer facing app. I mean, they can download it and start using it, right? And when they download the Money, all that they have to do, because these cooperative banks, these banks, once they are on the BBPS platform, so they can be anywhere. They can be working on the field. They can be at some work, or they can be some anywhere at the home also, right? All that they have to do, provide their consumer number, which is their lending number, and XDEX. What it does is, it goes and fetch the details, which has an EMI, and what is the EMI amount, what is the outstanding, and then it displays on their app. The moment it displays on their app, I mean, all that they have to do is simply select the mode of payment, click on it, and make the payment, and this happens within no time, right? So they can be anywhere. They can be anywhere. They can be using any smart phones. All that they have to do, just provided the banks, the lenders are on the BBPS framework, and we are trying to penetrate to that rural segment, cooperative banks and urban banks, which where we wanted to bring them on BBPS framework and make their customers payment experience ease.
Right. So
Yeah.
now cooperative banks in the scene, I can understand that how huge is this and how it is penetrating to the grassroots level in India. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
so Kiran, when the billers are ready to onboard the BBPS platform, a lot of questions comes around the charges, like what could be the integration charges, the AMC charges, support, and all. So, would you give some idea on the costing part of it? What are your charges, your support charges, or integration charges as a TSP?
Yeah, I mean, no discussion ends without this wonderful topic, right? So
Right.
definitely charges, no two way. I mean, definitely the charges related to integration, the charges related to transaction, which needs to be shared in the throughout the ecosystem, and then definitely once we make them go live, right, our support system kicks off, and we have to bring that support mechanism live, and we have to dedicate few people on top of it, right? So all these are adding cost to it. However, we because of this adapter driven framework, which drastically reduces the overall time frame, right? Efforts from our side, efforts from even biller side, they don't need to keep people engaged only for this. So we are reducing their time and efforts and resource availability. At the same time, we are also drastically reducing our side of efforts. However, we will not be charging the way, like, the others are charging for 6 to 8 weeks kind of heavy integration, customization, or testing UAT and going live of thing. So there is a nominal fee to it, where we just charge for as a one-time onboarding charges, and then we provide a very competitive and nominal fee for the per transaction basis. And AMC definitely is something that we have kept very very low, so that it is not burdening the billers as well. I mean, anyone who is, I mean, I can't disclose the exact numbers, Rinky. Definitely, it differs, especially the transaction fee differs from industry to industry, type of industries. So anyone who is interested, probably they can write to us, like which is a discover at tilli.pro, and me and my colleagues, like sales team and commercial team, are always there to help you guys, to walk you through. We understand your requirement, and then give you a very competitive price.
So,
Yeah.
does the cost has anything to do with the type of industry or the volume of the transactions that would be done, or
Only for the transaction side of it, there are a little different cost based on the type of industry, which is standard operations we follow. However, yeah, otherwise nothing more. We have to apportion some part of the efforts to the innovation, right? We will be just charging that innovation cost. Yeah.
so I think we are close to the timeline of this webinar. So this is a kind of like we are coming to the conclusion for our discussion. And thank you so much, Kiran, for your time and this valuable insights. So now I really got to know that how effectively you are doing it within 2 weeks. 2 weeks of time, and what makes you so confident about it? It's your technology innovation that is making all the difference, bringing it from 6 to 8 weeks to just 2 weeks, and that's awesome about it. So
Yeah, I mean, definitely yes. I got excited when you had this subject in your, I mean, for this wonderful webinar. So we still stick to that, not 6 weeks, not 8 weeks. We just go with 2 weeks of timelines. We'll make sure that you are getting onboarded. See, time to market is something very very critical, Rinky, right? So we make sure that you guys are onboarded within 2 weeks time, unless some coordination related challenges are there, which needs to be sorted out. But otherwise, once everything is ready, probably we just take 2 weeks time to make you live. I'm also so excited to have be part of this wonderful webinar. I think we will keep doing this sort of educative and informative webinars, Rinki. And thanks a lot for inviting me and being your guest.
Yeah, thank you, Kiran. Thank you for all your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.